Hi, and welcome to Hypetex Tech Corner. In this video, we'll be discussing best practices for finishing and sanding when using Hypetex colored materials. To be more specific, we need to recap the steps that are usually required when finishing a composite part, especially one using a layer of paint over it. When demolding a composite part from its mold, the release agent that was used needs to be completely removed. These can be done by using some chemical cleaners, but most of the time, a light sanding will ensure that the whole surface has been appropriately treated. The sanding is also required to improve the mechanical bonding of the paint or clear coat or bonding layer if you are using some water decals. The parts need to be thoroughly cleaned to remove any dust particles that could stick on it before applying the paint or coating layer. Such a process requires it to be done in a white room, to remove any particles that could contaminate the paint and create a visible defect. We will skip over all of the issues purely related with paint, relative to consistency, cleaning, maintenance, transfer rate, and air filtration. Finally, the coat needs to be hardened by using an oven. Now let's see what the advantages are of using Hypetex colored fabrics in your layup. First, color consistency. Unlike using translucent paint, Hypetex colors are embedded within the fabric, which means that there are no possibilities to get paint overlaps or missed spots. The color will be uniform across the part, but also across batches of products. Second, if no further decorations are required after demolding the part, using a polished mold will give you parts that are ready to be used without further finishing steps and equipment. Third, if an extra finishing layer needs to be added, like a clear coat, paint, decals, etc., and is damaged during the lifetime of the product, the color of the fabric underneath this layer will still be protected, allowing the repairs to be seamless. These advantages can be quite interesting, especially if you are looking for a leaner process flow, requiring fewer operations and machinery. But in the instance of needing to add your regular finishing steps, here is some technical advice to get the most out of our materials. 1. If the molds are damaged, not polished, or if you still require a clear coating step in your post-molding process flow, in all cases we recommend that the release agent is used. PLA or other silicone-based release agents are preferred to waxes, as they provide an easier release of the parts and work within a high range of temperatures. 2. You should be using a non-abrasive clear coating system. These systems come with a no-king cleaning agent and improved bonding clear coat. Please feel free to contact someone from our technical department for more information about them. 3. You could be using a sacrificial layer between the mold and the Hypetex fabric. These sacrificial layers should be made out of glass fiber with a really small FAW, below 30 GSM being ideal. It can be a woven or veil. The sacrificial layer serves two purposes: reduces the amount of pinholes due to the woven fabric, and protects the colored layer from aggressive sanding that could get through the layer. Being made of glass fiber, the sacrificial layer will not be visible after molding, but will give an extra layer of protection to the colored fabric and improve the surface finishing of your part right off the mold. The veil can be pre-laminated to the prepreg by using a hot iron and some pressure to get some tack out of the prepreg, or simply added on top of the preform if the positioning inside the mold requires some adjustments. 4. The laminating process and the compaction, especially in the edges or corners of your parts, need to be optimized. With a black fabric, some defects can be hidden by the darkness of the surface. For example, a poorly compacted edge full of resin will require some attention to be detected. When using a brighter surface finishing, any change in hue will immediately be visible. Using optimized patterns for your plies and compaction aiding devices will not only improve the visual appearance of the part, but also its structural strength. We agree that sanding is probably the easiest way to make a composite part look good, but there are alternatives to be explored that will improve the structural integrity of your parts, but also reduce the amount of finishing steps, time, and cost. It is too often that products are being oversanded to compensate for underlying issues, and using a colored fabric without solving these problems will only highlight them. Please visit our website for finishing design guidelines. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.